Have you ever imagined that something as simple as an abandoned dog could change everything? No one dared to touch the dying dog. Not the neighbors, not the police, not even animal control officers. But one man, Tom Heller, saw something in that wounded German shepherd that no one else could. And when he took it home in his arms, everything in his life started falling apart. This wasn't just a stray dog. It was a discarded K9 police dog with a secret past. A past that would reopen old wounds, reunite a father and son separated for years, and force a town to face its buried truths. Why was this dog abandoned? What did it survive? And most importantly, why did this man risk everything, including his job, his son, and his silence, to save it? Tom Heller's hands gripped the controls of the inspection car as it slowly moved down the forgotten maintenance track. The thick gray fog cut through the path, casting eerie shadows. Tom kept silent, focusing on the constant clack of the wheels against the tracks, like the beat of his own heart. The silence of the night surrounded him, but inside, fear of the unknown kept rising. The radio next to him crackled, static never ceasing. It was his only company in the lonely darkness of the night. When Tom reached to adjust the dial, an unusual sound broke through the quiet. A dark mass on the tracks made him slam the brakes. The dog was there, motionless, a skeleton covered in mud with a broken leg and crawling with ticks. Tom couldn't help but flash back to his time in Afghanistan. That dog, that look, it was like seeing the reflection of a young soldier trapped, begging for help. The weight of those memories hit him with the same force as the cry of that dying dog. But the decision was clear. Letting it die wasn't an option. "Damn it. What do I do?" Tom whispered, his mind torn between protocol and his humanity. But the dog's eyes. There was something in that look, something that forced him to act, to not be like everyone else. What did he owe this dog? What sacrifices was he willing to make? Carefully, he wrapped the dog in his work jacket and took it back to the car. The tension in his shoulders was unbearable, but he knew he had to act. The protocol said animal incidents should be reported, but Tom couldn't let it die. Every glance from the dog forced him to confront his own failures, his own pain. Morning light began to filter through Tom's workshop windows. The memories of the night before blended with the uncertainty of what he would do next. The dog still lay there, in its makeshift bed, breathing shallowly. Tom glanced at his watch and realized he couldn't keep ignoring the past he had buried for so long. "Good morning, buddy," he murmured, beginning to examine the dog's broken leg. As he worked, Tom couldn't help but notice the old leather collar around the dog's neck, too tight, with broken metal rings. When he removed it, he discovered the skin underneath was raw and irritated, as if the collar had been there far longer than it should have been. In that moment, something shifted in Tom. The dog's presence, its eyes full of trust and pain, began breaking down the walls he had built over the years. Suddenly, Tom's life wasn't just a routine job in the workshop anymore. Every movement he made with the dog connected him more to a past he had tried to forget, but now couldn't avoid facing. But when Caleb, his son, returned, everything changed again. The silence between father and son was as thick as the fog of the previous night. Caleb barely looked at him as he entered the house. The words were few, heavy with years of unspoken resentment. "That dog, is it the one you found last night?" Caleb asked indifferently. "Yes," Tom replied, his voice hoarse and barely recognizable. But in that moment, Tom knew that his relationship with his son wouldn't be fixed so easily. What had happened between them? The story of this dog was about to intertwine with Tom's life in ways he couldn't foresee. What seemed like a simple rescue was becoming something much bigger. Tom didn't just have to save the dog. He also needed to save his broken relationship with his son. But when the dog showed signs of recovery, something shifted in the house. One morning, Tom saw the dog get up slightly and walk toward the water bowl. Their eyes met, and for the first time since being rescued, there was a genuine bond. The dog was starting to trust him. But would this be enough for Tom to restore trust with his son? Meanwhile, the town remained silent. The murmurs about the dog grew louder, but not everyone was happy to see it survive. Who was this dog, really? Why had it been abandoned? Tom felt the truth was about to come to light, but there was still something he didn't know. What secrets did this dog hide? What did it mean for Tom that the dog was starting to trust him, while his own son looked at him with indifference? The story was only just beginning, and every new day brought more questions